Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are a subscriber. If you're not, you should subscribe because I am posting about the new Loki series. I am breaking down the series and having a look at some of the scenes I enjoyed and appreciated as a film studies graduate and some of the scenes that I didn't really rate. I'm also looking at what I think they mean and what I think the director was trying to convey through the scenes. Today I am looking at episode 2. If you haven't seen my first videos on the first episode, please go check them out. There will be links in the descriptions and cards on the screens. You can also go check out my makeup video for today on my makeup channel, which has been inspired by Loki. So, shall we get on with the video? Let's go. So, episode 2. And the very first shot we see when we've gone through the recap, that is a shot of a Renaissance festival. And obviously, when you first look at this, you don't really know where it is, what time it's in. You know, it could be medieval times with people dancing around the maypole. But when you give it a closer look, which you may not have noticed this, they are people in modern dress. So obviously when the writing comes on the screen, we realise that they're in Wisconsin, and when I saw that I'm like, wait, this doesn't fit with that. But then the date comes on 1985 and you realise, oh okay, it's a Renaissance fair, what they do have in America. I don't know if they have them in the UK. It'd be fun to go to one if they do. But yeah, if you look closer at the people in the background and some of the people dancing around the maypole, they're dressed in modern day clothing from the 80s. I thought that was funny because I completely missed that when I first watched it. Probably like a lot of people. So if you've seen some of my other videos on the first episode, you might see that I have like a love-hate relationship with lighting. But obviously, I was talking to one of my old course mates who did film studies with me, and we were talking about the fact that they would have done this to save money, to cut back on the lighting budget. Yes, even massive corporations like Marvel will do this. And so the lighting they'll try and use as much natural light and like artificial light from like the lights that are actually in the scene rather than using big expensive lighting equipment. But obviously sometimes that can't work. You just need the lighting equipment. But this scene where they're opening the tent up, I actually like this shot. Shocker, I know. But this shot, it gives you that suspenseful atmosphere. Something's about to happen. We can just tell by, obviously they're gone there to find a variant, so we kind of know something's about to go down because it's very suspenseful, it's very dark. They're kind of shining a light on what's about to happen and what's been going on in this timeline. So in this scene where they're going into the tent, there's like this weird light coming through. I'm going to put it on the screen with a little arrow. And I don't know if that's supposed to be there, if that's like the timeline kind of, you know, the like Nexus events coming, or something to do with the timeline. Or it was a mistake. Because it looks very, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's a mistake, that's the thing. And speaking of the beginning of the first episode, we have to talk about this scene, this fight scene with I Need a Hero playing. I loved it. I honestly loved it. It kind of reminded me of, if you've seen Umbrella Academy, it reminded me of that because they mixed music with action and worked it together to give this really cool atmosphere. And they also, don't want to really compare Loki to this movie, but they also did it a lot in Suicide Squad. don't come for me. But I'm just comparing the technique with having music over a fight scene and making it really dynamic and energetic. And I loved this scene. I want more of this. Please give me more of this because I loved it. And with the TVA Hunter, I can't remember what number they had on their hat, but they say I'm having fun. And I don't know if that's Lady Loki speaking through her. I think it might be. And I don't know, is this antagonist just wanting to have fun? Is that the whole point of it? But I highly doubt that. There's probably more to it. But maybe they enjoy, hurting people or just kind of making things an inconvenience, kind of like Loki does. He enjoys making things an inconvenience for people, and Lady Loki is probably on the same kind of wavelength there, where they enjoy just kind of, creating chaos and making things inconvenient for the other characters. And also the song playing is, I need a hero. And these guys need a hero. These guys need someone to come in and save them. Is that going to be Loki? I mean, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts if you've watched this. I'm hoping you've watched this episode before watching this video. But the end of this episode, do you think Loki's going to be the hero? I mean, I'm hoping he is. But do you honestly think like Loki's going to be the hero of the story? Or is it going to be like Mobius or someone else? And now we are back in the TVA with Loki reading a jet ski magazine. But I didn't realise this when I first watched it. It says power, performance, quality. That sounds very similar to something you would see on a TVA poster. They want power. They are all about performance and quality. You have to, be on the ball when you're doing this job. Also, kind of something Loki doesn't have. No offense to him, but he lacks power, doesn't he? His performance isn't always great, and people see through it very easily, and he's not up to scratch. He's not up to scratch, is he? He's not up to par, so his quality is kind of questionable as well. I just realised that this is Mobius's desk, I think, and there's like a weird, is that a stoat or a ferret? There's a stuffed animal under his desk. Like what? That's kind of bizarre. Yeah, that's a little strange. Just noticed that one. Okay, Mobius has some questionable taste. Now, I love watching this back and spotting the little details, but Miss Minute has just stood on an hourglass and the sand has run out. So that means time is running out for the TVA, for Loki. Obviously, at the end of this episode, we see everything kind of go a bit crazy. So it's time, really running out for people. Like I said, I was talking to a coursemate of mine. Thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. About some of the things I have said in my videos. And he said the upward angle shots, which I'm not really a fan of, kind of cuts Loki off a bit here as well. But it shows, especially Loki, in like a godlike way to the audience. So he is superior and he is like powerful. So it gives that godlike sense that he is above. I don't want to say above us and above the audience, but he is, superior and powerful compared to the rest of the characters sometimes and ourselves, because he is a god in our mythology. and he is powerful compared to regular humans. And Asgardian is too. You know, he is powerful. And then we have the TVA briefing when Loki has run off really cutely, to be fair. He's adorable when he's running away. Sorry. Fangirling. But when they're briefing the team on the mission and the fact that the other mission had failed in 1985 and they're having to go and do a recon mission, so we have them all stood around in a circle. That reminds me of, imagine the Knights of the Round Table in Arthur Legends, where Arthur would have all his knights with him in a circle because there's no head of the table there. So them standing around in a circle like this, I feel they're all kind of on the same level, even though they may all have different jobs in the TVA and they may all have different experiences and expertise. They all seem to be on the same level, even though it's Hunter and Mobius are the ones kind of, in charge and such. But I don't know, the circle kind of gives me that kind of feeling when they do these briefings. And then we have Loki slap bang in the middle, and I feel this is because everyone's kind of got their eye on him. Everyone's a bit sheepish around him and don't really know how he's going to react, and they're all kind of we don't trust this guy. So I feel with him being slap bang in the middle and in between the other, I think 4 or 5 people here, everyone's kind of got their eye on him, haven't they? They don't trust him and they're all, wary. I just noticed too, watching this scene back, is when we see Mobius and Hunter, they actually lower down. So the camera's not so low when we're looking at them. It has been brought up a little bit, and they're more on the same level as everyone else. And then when we look at Loki in this scene, so when it switches to him, he'd actually be higher up on the screen and the camera is a little bit lower down again. So he obviously knows a lot more than they know in this scene, and he tells them about his powers because they think they know, but they don't have it wrong. So it shows his superiority again. But this time it actually makes sense because he is a little bit more superior now because he has more knowledge than they do. And this shot when they go into the tent again, and all we see is the helmet with the taser baton thing, I don't know what to call them. It's a really simple way of showing what has previously happened. So C20 is what they were, has disappeared, and all that's left is the helmet. So we know straight away that they're gone, and the other team is going to recognize this. When Loki is talking to the team and trying to manipulate them and trying to waste their time and, get them to do what he wants. If we look back at the previous scene I was talking about, where Loki is actually higher up than the rest because he knows more and he is a little bit superior when it comes to his knowledge. In this scene, he is at the exact same height as the others, and actually he's sometimes a little lower down than Mobius is. In this scene, he's not superior even though he thinks he is. Mobius knows what he's up to. Mobius clues on straight away. And now we are in Rain Slayers, that's the name, isn't it? Office. And the first thing we see is this image of a statue of one of the timekeepers. So I feel they may be the leader, top dog of the timekeepers, and I still don't trust them. Don't trust them. And again, those eyes, they're watching. They are watching Loki and everything that is going on around them. Like in the first episode, when we first meet Casey behind the desk in the lobby, we see this emblem of the timekeepers and the time variance authority. And again, that is behind Mobius. So watching, always watching. I'm gonna keep saying it, always watching. Just noticing how much like symmetry there is in this series. Like, there's so much of it. Like, this shot, obviously you have the corridor coming down, then you have the walls go out, there's 2 benches, all the lights, and then you have even the lines on the walls, and then the lift slap bang in the center. It's all very uniformed and symmetrical and neat and clean cut. And just talking about it there, I kind of feel like this is a representation of the TVA. Very uniformed, very strict, very square too, and like in the box. Like, we get a sense of whoever's in charge wanting that sacred timeline to be the only one. They have to have control of this timeline, and everything they want to happen is going to happen, and that's it. Nothing else, just what they want. So everything being so symmetrical in boxes, everything's in the box. It's not out. Nothing's outside the box. Everything has to be perfect and uniformed and stay the same. Just something I just figured out while talking about this scene, and something very interesting to continue to look for. It's a lot to go through. This video maybe in 2 parts, because again, it's a lot to get through in just one video, and I don't really want to overdo it and make these videos super long. So that is part 1 over and done with. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, and turn on notifications. And I'll see you tomorrow for episode 2. See you later, guys.